So I want to ask you, should I put this in the film files, or the dollar bin reviews? Because, as I would say, I picked this up in a dollar bin, but not at a dollar store, if that were to make sense. Yeah, I'll just put it in the film files, I don't care. This is Hudson Hawk, with Bruce Willis. I believe this was his first and only film that he ever wrote. Let's double check that real quick. TriStar Pictures presents Silver Pictures Ace Bone Production. Bruce Willis, blah 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 blah. James Coburn. Music. Production designer. Director for photography. Extreme producer. Story by Bruce Willis and Robert Kraft. Screenplay by Steven D'Souza and Daniel Waters. Produced by Joe Silver and directed by Michael Lemmon. Now, just how much Bruce Willis wrote this, I'm not too sure. Might have been edited by Robert Kraft and written by Bruce Willis. Either way, this was not necessarily highly looked at, highly loved or beloved by fans or whatever. No, people knew Bruce Willis from Die Hard and The Fifth Element, so now he's here with Hudson Hawk, and nobody knows what the heck's going on. It's very, very Looney Tunes-ish, and I honestly want to think and say that Bruce Willis is a fan of both, one, the Looney Tunes, and Bruce Willis is a fan of comic books, because this looks like he has written his own comic book hero. Hudson Hawk feels like a comic book character in a very, very wacky, comedic noir type of comic book serial. I'm not sure if that was his inspiration, but that's just what it feels like to me when I watched this film. I actually ended up really enjoying it. I love absurd comedy. I love things that don't make sense because, I've watched Looney Tunes for almost my entire life. Looney Tunes, the Animaniacs, Insanity, Freakazoid, it's all there, man. All sorts of nonsense, but it makes sense in a nonsensical, comedic way. And that's just what Hudson Hawk delivers in its own fun type of way. Whether it hits the right notes that Looney Tunes hits, that's arguable. Is it a memorable film in that I could tell you exactly, note for note, everything that happened? Probably not. At least not after a first viewing. Though, honestly, after my first viewing, I kind of want to watch it again, though my backlog's actually pretty huge, so I don't have time to rewatch this again, but if I could, I definitely would, because Hudson Hawk is very entertaining. It's very fun. It's funny. Not a lot of stuff makes sense, but I get the feeling that it's not supposed to. Bruce Willis and his partner in crime, he plays Hudson Hawk. Hudson Hawk is a famous art thief, and he just got out of prison, and he wants to go clean and legit, but his friend is in deep with some of the mobster people, and they're like, hey, Hudson Hawk, you need to steal something for us to square away your friend's debt. So Hudson Hawk's going to steal something for whatever, and they're in this museum stealing this priceless artifact, not a museum, auction house, museum, whatever, and they're basically singing a song to each other, and they're humming it out loud, and it's very, very funny and not realistic in the slightest, and I don't think you're supposed to get that it's realistic. There's a lot of unique cuts in this that I've never seen in another film except comedic type films like this before. For example, Hudson Hawk jumps off of a roof, and he's fallen through the roof of a lower building or whatever. I'm not good at explaining things without drawing them, I guess. So, here's this skyscraper. This is our skyscraper, right? Hudson Hawk's right up here. Okay? Right? He jumps off this way, and there is a smaller building this way with a glass roof, right? He falls into the glass roof, and then we immediately jump cut to another room. He's back at the mobster house. He has fallen into the chair, into a lazy boy chair from this little scene. He jumps off the building here, falls into the roof, and it's a jump cut, and he's landing in a lazy boy chair in the meeting place with a bunch of the gangsters. And that's pretty interesting to me, because I don't think I've ever seen something like that in too often. I don't think I've seen something like that too often. It's really memorable to me, that type of cut. It's pretty unique. He has a lot of globetrotting, stealing things, trying to beat another group. There's a bunch of groups of people that are all over the place. There's a CIA group. Great, I gotta make another thing because it's very confusing just trying to remember it and explain it, alright? So here's Hudson Hawk, right? Hudson Hawk and his friends, like, here's his partner in crime and the lady that he likes, right? Hudson Hawk, this is HH, right? Here's the partner, that's going to be P, and this is lady, so that's going to be L, right? Okay, so his partner in crime has ties to the mafia people. These are the mafia people right here. We're just going to do this and say M. This is the mafia people, right? His partner in crime has ties to the mafia people. The lady friend has ties to a secret society, right? We're just going to call them the secret society. This is the... I can't write up from upside down. Secret society. Okay. So here's his secret society. She has ties with the secret society. He has ties with the mafia people. The mafia people have ties with the secret society, but they might be enmities. They're enemies types of people, right? So these guys are the super crime, and then the buddy in crime also has ties with the with another group of criminals. These guys are the super criminals. We're gonna call them the SC, right? So here's Hudson Hawk. He has ties with his lady friend and his partner in crime. Partner in crime has ties with the mafia people, and that's how he gets roped up into the mafia people. He also has ties with the super secret criminal organization, so that's how Hudson Hawk gets roped up with the super secret criminal organization. The super secret criminal organization and the secret society are both in enmities as well, and they're both trying to get a MacGuffin before the other one does, and they've both hired Hudson Hawk to steal them for him. So he's stealing the artifacts for these guys, and these guys have hired him to steal the artifacts from these guys to give him to these guys. And they're all trying to grab this MacGuffin for some reason. It's very confusing. If this confuses you, it's far worse when you're watching the movie. But if you could just sit there and watch it and just consume it and enjoy it yourself, you're probably going to have a good time. Hudson Hawk, I want to say, I'm very, very, very friendly, fond, and kind to this movie because it's just funny to me. It's just a funny film. But yeah, I don't know how to end these things. Be imaginative and give it a watch.